Tim Minchin, good morning.
Hi, Jack.
How are things?
Oh, I'm good. I like being in Auckland.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. You're
been a
kind of
long
the little globetrotter these days. You live in
I'm
Los
not that little.
Angeles, right?
I live in Los... What?
Los Angeles.
Wow. I didn't know that's how it's pronounced. I do. I live in Los Angeles. Angeles. Yeah, which is... sucks a bit, but it's all right.
You don't like it?
I'm moving to Sydney, Australia in December.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah, with my family.
Yeah. Do you think the musical progression for you has become available because in the last, I don't know, maybe 15 years, musicals have gone from being super cheese to embracing the cheese and kind of teasing themselves a little bit? And by that, I don't mean to suggest that Matilda is a total Mickey take. But I look at the likes of like Book of Mormon and
Avenue Q.
Yeah, Avenue Q, exactly. And then compare it with your writing style and your lyrics, and it seems like an easier fit.
Well, it's a really interesting question, and I think it's interesting for me, probably not for many other people, because weirdly, even though irony and meta sort of self-mocking stuff was how I got known, and at that time, Bobby Lopez wrote Avenue Q and then Book of Mormon, which were mocking the form. Book of Mormon is a musical about how dumb musicals are, but then manages to have its cake and eat it too. It's brilliant. And I went and started writing Matilda, and my first drafts included a bit of that meta. There was like a song that was like a Les Mis moment. And Matthew, the director, went, "We're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not going to do aren't musicals dumb. We're not going to do it. Let's write a musical." And actually, Matilda is quite unironic. There's a lot of irony in it, but it's not saying aren't musicals dumb. It's actually taking the challenge of the form. It's not. It's not apologizing for itself in the way Mormon does, which I'm really proud of. And subsequently with Groundhog Day, I did a little bit more meta, a little bit more breaking the fourth wall, but it's not. Weirdly, for an ironic songwriter, I have ended up being more on the non-ironic, trying to take on the challenge of the form.
Does that make it low-hanging fruit?
Do I think the ironic version?
Yeah. Do you think it would almost be too easy with Groundhog Day, for example, just to go, musicals are
it's
so
all
dumb.
meta. Exactly. It is, and also, look, I think Book of Mormon's utterly brilliant. I think Bobby Lopez and Trey and Matt are geniuses, but it is, to me, it's not. It's a musical about musicals. So it's brilliant. Just like the South Park musical is a musical taking the mick out of musicals. That's brilliant. And because I met Matthew and he encouraged me to not apologize, because it's not just low hanging fruit. It's slightly not backing yourself. Which Trey and Matt obviously are the right people to write Book of Mormon. But for me, because I've written music for theatre since I was a teenager, and because I think it's an incredible challenge because they suck so much, I'm hugely interested in trying to take it on and not apologise for it. Not say, "Oh, it's a musical, aren't musicals dumb?" But you're still having fun, which is what Mamma Mia does and what all those things do. I don't want to be involved in that. I'm so pleased I met Matthew and he went, no, step up, man. Try.
I'm sure a lot of our listeners will be in a similar boat, in that Roald Dahl remains one of my favourite authors ever. Apparently a bit of a bastard though.
Yeah, tough guy. I mean,
complicated. Is probably the
and
right
obviously an old man of his time. A white British man of his time. But I know his widow well now and his grandkids, and I've spent time with the family, and he is held in hugely high esteem. I don't think he was beyond criticism, of course. But what he was a man in pain. Yeah. And he was in pain physically. I don't know if you've seen his chair he wrote in with the hole dug out because he was in so much pain. He was in physical pain all the time and emotional pain. Once his daughter died, I mean, he was in such pain. I think he was really, really... he was grumpy because he was sore in all the ways you can be sore.
He does have a mastery of... dark twists and turns, but just characters. There's
Yeah.
something about a Roald Dahl character. You know
Yeah.
it's Roald Dahl.
Yeah.
It must be such a privilege to be dealing in that world.
It is amazing. And don't you think Quentin Blake is inexorably connected to that? Like
Totally.
when I was sitting down to write the music for Matilda, I realized that the image of Dahl in my head as you sit down, because it was writing music for me because I'm not trained and I don't, it's a visceral thing. It's almost a like slightly synesthetic thing. I'm basically going, what is the color of this moment?
Do you
in the
actually
story?
have that?
A little tiny bit,
Yeah.
as in months and days and numbers have colors, and Tuesday and 7 are related to autumn and August, and like stuff like that.
Yeah. Quite a few people have that,
Yeah.
especially creative people.
Yeah, it's an
Lord
interesting-
has synesthesia.
Yeah.
I know someone who sees people as shapes
Yeah.
in a similar way. Is
Well, I
very
just
creative.
have it, but it can be quite disruptive. But
Yeah.
they think now they look through history and read the writings of artists. Now they understand synesthesia, which is basically a breakdown of the barriers between your two sort of modules in your brain which deal with those things. It's kind of a disability and
Yeah.
can be a huge problem.
It can be quite upsetting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my uncle Wheeler, who's a pub owner, he has colours for everything. But I think it's a more prosaic sort of thing that I've got, that it's more allegorical. Like I go, this music sounds blue or this is yellow or this is sunny, and it's more a language with which I talk about music. And so Dahl for me feels angular and obviously a bit semitonic. It's not Disney. It's not rooted in ones, fours and fives. It's like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
And I realised that it's Blake's drawings as well.
Of course.
That inky, scratchy, almost ugly,
Yeah.
visceral depictions of those characters, I think influenced my understanding of what Dahl is as much as anything. I didn't really like them when I was a kid. I was scared of them. I was always a bit scared of Dahl.
They're pretty dark, man. If you go
Yeah.
back and read those short stories in particular,
So
some of them are like, whoa.
Yeah, so dark.
Kids read
And then
this?
it gets quite naughty as well
Yeah.
once you get into the grown-up stuff. He's cheeky bugger.
Yeah.
He was an anti-establishment sort of guy.
Yeah.
And an establishment sort of guy.
Who encouraged you to teach piano / taught you piano?
Well, I did like lessons with
Yeah.
Mrs. Craig, Jane Craig, who's felt old at the time, but now I know her and she's still not that old.
What does she make of your career?
Oh, she's like I've met her a couple of times. My
Sure.
mum bumps into her at the shops. She'd be 80 something now. She says, I'm so ashamed. I should have spotted it. Because I did up to like grade 3 and I wasn't practicing, and my parents said, well, if you're not going to practice, then
We're not
stop
gonna pay for
wasting our
lessons.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I quit. But the interesting thing about Mrs. Craig, she'd been teaching me all this stuff and she was quite strict, felt strict to me, probably wasn't, but I was young, felt Dahlian, bit despotic. But on the last lesson, she said, okay, if you're going to quit, check this out, and just showed me how to harmonize a major scale. So in a C major, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B minor, flat 5, C.
Yeah.
Just went, they're the chords that belong to that scale. And I went, oh, okay. And then I just went away, and then my brother kept going, Tim, work out this song with me, because he's a guitarist. And that was it, really. And then when I was 19, after I'd already been writing music for theatre for a few years, I went, okay, I'm going to go back and learn to read music. Because otherwise I'll hit the ceiling. And so I did a 2-year contemporary music course, which is basically like learning how to play all the different styles.
Yeah.
And I never learned to read music. I was too far gone by then.
Yeah. Is there any music you really don't like?
Oh yeah, nearly all of it. I mean, I don't listen to music very much at all. I never have been a massive, I don't really know what's going on with music.
You don't
I'm
freak out over
trying-
Radiohead's latest? Or...
No. I guess, the bands that were influential, it's really all my brother saying, listen to this. And
Yeah.
once I left Perth and stopped playing with my brother, I kind of just drifted. I find music stressful. I listen to, when I'm exercising, I listen to, I just do a Spotify playlist to see what's going
Dr.
on.
Dre.
So, well, I do. I listen to a lot of hip hop and a lot of pop now because I'm trying to work out what people are listening to. But I don't like it. I love hip hop, but it's not my mode. I wish it was. I wish I could be Lin-Manuel Miranda and write Hamilton. But I don't come from a hip hop background. I don't want to appropriate that. If someone like me started writing hip hop, it really would be appropriation. It really is not my heritage. And I think I'd be crap at it. But I write beat poetry, which is like middle-class white Perth guy version of the same thing. So I try to listen more, but I'm I get stressed. If the lyrics are crap, I get stressed. I can't bear bad lyrics. And if the chord progression's the same as everything, I get stressed. And if it's really good, I get stressed because I wish I could write that. So if it's bad, I go, you idiots. And if it's good, I go, damn it.
Are Sting's lyrics as bad as everyone says they are?
No, I love Sting.
I do too.
I think he's unbelievable.
So do I.
I don't know about his
No,
lyrics.
the Police are amazing, and yet everyone always bags on Sting. Says
Why don't-
everyone says he's. The reason I ask is everyone says he's the worst lyricist ever, which I think is so unfair. He's the worst lyricist, but the best musician.
Would she prefer it if I washed myself more often than I do? Would she prefer it if I took her to an opera or two? I could distort myself to be the perfect man. She might prefer me as I am. What the hell? Bad
Beautiful.
lyrics?
Yeah, there you go.
That's from Ten Sumner's Tale. No one knows that one.
No, I don't know. That's
She don't
fantastic.
like the way I know. She
Oh,
don't
maybe I
like
do.
the things I
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
See, yeah, he's a.
And his voice. Unbelievable voice.
Yeah.
For me, one of the top few. Kurt Elling, the jazz singer, came to my show in New York the other night. I found out afterwards. I was mortified that I wouldn't have been able to play if I knew he was in the room.
Yeah.
He's like the Uber Sting vocally.
See, if you're in Sydney, that's not going to happen so regularly. It'll happen.
No, but
it'll
that
happen.
is a thing. That is a huge thing for me. It's just the chance meetings with, in London, honestly, and I'll just do some name dropping. I could call Tom Stoppard and say, let's have a coffee. I want to talk to you about play. Or I could call Ian McEwan, who's my favourite author in all time. I've got to meet these incredible people. Or, Richard Dawkins, if I wanted. You're part of this incredible thing.
And they'll be saying the same thing.
Yeah, totally.
They'll be going to Matilda
Yeah.
and saying, yeah, I know Tim Minchin.
It's so
And no
amazing.
big thing. Yeah, see, look, this is his phone number. No biggie.
Yeah.
No biggie.
Yeah.
We're getting the whole wrap-up sign from everyone. Thank you so
let's
much.
keep talking. Doesn't matter.
I could go forever. The boss is giving the wind-up.
Furious.
It's such a pleasure to speak with you.
Yeah, nice
I
to talk to
really,
you.
really admire your work. I really enjoy it. So,
Thanks,
yeah,
Jack.
congratulations on
Go
your
see
success.
Matilda.
I will.
Make everyone else
Absolutely.
go too.